Okay, so we're starting recording here with Mr. At 11:18:22 on 11/18/22 at 5:33 p.m. I want to know how to operate this or not.
I asked you.
It should be a red button somewhere.
Okay. Okay, Idaho State Police elimination interview statement. Purpose. The purpose of the elimination interview is to remove a subject from being considered a person of interest in a criminal investigation. This is accomplished through several means. Primarily, a person is eliminated due to providing a confirmable alibi. Secondarily, a person is eliminated through their cooperation with investigators. A person of interest. A person of interest is a subject that is considered a person of interest is based on their relationship to a victim and or their proximity in time and space to the occurrence of a crime. The reason for the elimination interview is also important in that it prevents the waste of time and resources by law enforcement. If we are investigating innocent persons, we are wasting time. What we are asking you for, in addition to answering questions in a detailed, truthful, and sometimes lengthy manner, your cooperation with an elimination interview may also include submitting your electronic devices for forensic examination, as well as allowing consent to search of your vehicle and or residence. A DNA sample may also be requested. These requests may seem intrusive. They are, and we apologize for having to ask for this level of cooperation. However, in serious criminal cases where the identities of the perpetrator or perpetrators may not be known, it is necessary to our success in bringing justice and closure in these cases. Your consent. You must understand that you are not required to consent to participating in this elimination interview. You are here of your own free will and because of your desire to assist law enforcement in solving this crime. You, of course, may choose to terminate your consent and end this process at any time and leave. You got all that?
Yep.
Okay. Are you willing to cooperate and provide that sort of cooperation with us today?
Yes.
Okay. First things first, I've got somebody across the hall that can download your phone. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
We have another form.
Yep. Is the person across the hall Moscow PD?
No.
State? Okay.
FBI.
Oh, okay.
Mobile device. Do you have a password or security code on your device?
Yes.
What is it? Can you spell that for me?
Yep.
That is a long password.
Yeah. Well, I just use my face most of the time.
Okay. Okay, if you could print on this line, if you could print and sign your name, and then also your consent can be withdrawn. So if you change your mind that you don't want to do that in 10 minutes, we can go undo it because you have the right to remove consent at any time.
Okay. And then just sign next to it.
Yes, please.
It's 11:18.
18, yep. 5:37 p.m.
Yeah, I just...
You want to sign as a witness?
I will sign as a witness.
Okay. If I could have your phone, I'll give it to them.
Been busy?
Not really. I'm on...
Oh, okay. Okay, well, congratulations.
Thanks. That's been
A lot of effort.
learning curve for sure.
Oh, I
But
bet.
sleepless nights.
Oh, gosh, that's what they say. Everybody can't... But No sleep at all?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, next, DNA. Are you willing to give us a sample of your DNA?
Yep.
Okay. Could you label the outside of that?
Gloves.
Gloves. These are different ones.
Yeah, you just pop the top off.
I like the other ones better.
I hate putting the boxes together. That was what killed me. Is that what you said? Okay.
Correct.
Sorry.
No worries.
Been long days.
No, I get it.
And your date of birth?
Okay.
19.
So I'm going to take both of these and hold them like this, side by side.
Okay.
And I'm going to rub the inside of one of your cheeks and then
Okay.
the inside of the other one.
Okay.
It just takes a few seconds.
Okay. I'll enjoy holding a COVID test, that's for sure.
Yeah, oh my gosh. When the nurse stuck that thing up my nose, I grabbed her hand. It hurt.
Okay. And then last but not least, and I know this is kind of intrusive, but it is what it is, we'd like to examine you from the waist up without your shirt on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay if I take a picture?
Yep.
Can you raise your arms up above your head? And then from behind? Excellent. That's it.
Could you just real quick take your watch off?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just going to look.
Do it.
Okay, try to look. I'm just going to look. Okay. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Okay. So let's start.
Let's do a background real quick. We'll do it like, I call them bios. A little bit about your history. Where are you from? Basically, you live here in Idaho. You live here in Moscow. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And were you born here?
No, I was born in,
Okay.
and then moved out here.
Okay.
And all that, came to,
What were you studying in school?
oh, excuse me. salary. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Kind of.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So, so your other job is an Uber driver?
Yeah, I do drive for Uber and Lyft on the weekends.
Uber
typically.
and Lyft.
Mm-hmm.
They're two separate companies.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit, because it's not, I don't know this stuff. So Uber and Lyft. Tell me about Uber. What do you do? How do you become an Uber driver?
You fill out an application online. You submit like your driver's license, consent to a background check, all of that, and then you send it with you're approved on that front. Then you send them your car registration and proof of insurance, and then you get approved. They send you a sticker, and then you can drive. And same for Lyft. The only difference is with Uber, I had to take the car into a mechanic and get it certified or get it inspected
For insurance reasons.
Well, I just had to get it inspected for them, I guess, but I didn't have to do that for Lyft. Lyft just asked me, "Is your car in good working condition? Yes or no?" Yes.
What kind of car?
2011 gray Toyota Prius, license plate.
And so through Uber, that's the vehicle you use for Uber. You can't have another car and use that.
You can if you sign them both up.
Got it.
They both have to go through registration in your name, proof of insurance in your name, and the inspection on Uber's side or whatever. I used to do it in my pickup as well. It's lapsed. You have to be within 15 years of the current date. So my pickup is a 2006, so it lapsed a while ago, and it's also diesel, so not super fuel efficient. So yeah, I've been driving. I started driving the Prius in I bought it in 2019, October of 2019, and I was Ubering and I think Lyfting. Both started in 2019, and then I think I switched to pretty much only the Prius in January of 2020.
And so, how do you advertise? Do they advertise for you? You advertise.
They don't do anything.
You just pay them to have the name.
Yeah, basically access to the platform, and then people here then can get on the platform and get connected. They just request a ride, and then I get the ride request, and I hit accept. Yeah, I'll come get you. Okay. And then you don't see who you're picking up till you get there. You don't see where they're going till they get in the car, and you slide it to like start the ride. And yeah, the university partnered with Uber last year. The university partnered with Lyft this year. Both they give you the sticker to put on the windshield. Doesn't show up super well though, so like I bought like an Amazon little light thing that just goes in there. It says Uber Lyft. It just lights up to kind of be more seen or whatever. But yeah, they don't do any real advertising. Most nights I'm the only driver in town, so it's not like a taxi cab. Guys standing on the corner waving at you, right? Correct. Yeah.
He has to go through the app. Okay.
How come you're the only driver in town? I think that would be a pretty...
That's what the university keeps saying, too, with their partnerships. Like, last year they offered everyone 2 free rides a day, and at that time it was even to Pullman. You get paid the same as a driver, and they thought students were going to line up. And they did a big push on the campus with students to use Uber, drive for Uber, everything. We had a couple more last year. It's pretty much me and this other gal. And I haven't heard from her since, like, March. There's a few randoms every once in a while. And then this year there's been a couple others every once in a great while, but... not really consistent.
Do they lose like interest and you don't know why they
don't know. Yeah. I know she was in like a or something like that and was kind of concerned when gas prices started going up, and then she had a big problem with like, oh, these kids aren't tipping, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, I get tipped on every ride, so I think that's a you problem. But like she like got to like light up tip box and everything, and yeah. And then some of the kids were telling me she like was having surgery, some told me her car broke down. And I haven't reached out to her.
So it's customer base. If you have repeats, you repeat. Other people all right. So you give them your phone number
if they ask. Yeah, okay. I don't like, hey, you want my number? I don't do the business cards or anything like that. Some of them they ask if they can get my number, especially going to Pullman. It's considered a separate region, so I can't do pickups through the apps in Pullman. So if I take people over there, they're like, hey, how do we get back? Like, well, they have their own drivers. I don't know if they work, when they're working, whatever. And so a lot of times through that, people are like, well, can I just get your number and give you a text or give you a call if I can't get a ride back? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I don't want to leave anyone stranded. And yeah.
Is that kosher with Uber, or does that violate Uber's policies?
That is not kosher with Uber.
Yeah.
Once the ride's over, you're not supposed to have contact with the passenger again. Even just trying to get the names for the people I Ubered at 3 a.m. or lifted at 3 a.m. from King Street. They're like, nope, we don't release passenger information. The law enforcement will have to contact us and do a formal subpoena and all of that. Even though I get their first name as part of the ride, but that's it. But then being the only driver.
So you tried to call Uber and try to provide that information to law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. I tried because Blaker had asked me did you drop anyone off there? After that time or whatever, and I was like, I don't think so. I was trying to go through my rides. I didn't have any drop-offs, but I did have a pickup at 1119 King Street, so right on the corner, taking, I think, a guy and a gal or a guy and two gals, I can't remember, from there to campus at 3:06, I think is when the ride request came in. And so through that, I was trying to just find a first name, and I messaged them, and then they sent me to some specialized team once I told them this is for this investigation and everything, and they're like, oh, they're going to have to contact us. Okay, well, how do they do that? What's a good contact for? This chat has ended. Send a message if you want to continue chatting. Copy and pasted it again. Same messages, never heard anything.
And that was Lyft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are they headquartered out of? Do you know where?
California. Both of them are California companies.
Well, since you hit it, or you got to that point.
Well, let's talk about your personal life, your family life. Let's see. Okay. Where do you live? How long have you lived there?
3 years, I think. I think we moved in there.
Apartment, house?
House. I think we moved in, right here. No.
That's right. I forgot. It's been a long day.
No worries. I get it.
Uber bases this on a tracking in your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So you have to have your phone on all the time.
Yep.
And it's an app that they downloaded or you downloaded onto your phone?
Both me and the passenger have Uber. I have Uber driver.
Okay.
Uber.
So the Uber driver thing, you have to have it on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't turn the phone off or just go, hey, I'm not interested today.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can just turn off my rides, but I won't receive, I can,
Right.
I clock in whenever I want and I clock out whenever I want.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, I turn it on, then it's on. As far as I know, it's tracking me even if I'm not on a ride because it tracks your time, kind of like truck drivers. You can only be on for so long. But like whenever I get a ride on Lyft, I shut off Uber until I'm free again, and then I turn them both back on. Whenever I get a ride on one, I shut the other off till I'm free again.
I gotcha. Okay. And then the compensation is based on mileage and time of the ride?
It's mileage. You get a base rate of like $2.30 something, I think, and then you get a mileage per mile and a per minute cost or fee or whatever. I think it's like $1 something a minute and $1 something a mile. And then they were doing a fuel boost thing, so I got like an extra 54 cents a ride or something. But that was like it didn't matter if I was going across town or to Spokane. It was 54 cents.
So would you say, obviously you're still doing it, would you say it's profitable to you? You're making money, right? It's not a drain.
No.
Okay. But you do make money. Would you say that you make good money? Would you describe it as fair money? What would you describe it as?
Yeah. For a side gig, I mean, the only little profitable nights to do it are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights because that's when everyone's going out and about. But yeah, for a side gig, it's pretty good money. Like I think last weekend I added it up. I think it was like
Takeout food, kind of thing. You do that too?
No, I don't do food. I started off on DoorDash, and it was before COVID, so it wasn't super profitable. I'd do like 6 hours for like $50, and so I just kind of got burned on it. I thought about kicking it back on a little bit here and there, but I don't like doing food. You got to go in the restaurant and get it. You got to take it. Your car smells weird. You got to go find whatever random hole in the wall apartment they live in and either give it to them or take a picture of it outside their door. And it was just a lot more effort versus like people, they find me, they put themselves in the car. They usually don't smell bad. And then I take them wherever. If the address is wrong or the pin's wrong, they can direct me. They get out. They take themselves wherever. I just drive away.
I bet you'd get some super drunk people getting in the car.
Yes.
Especially this college town kind of.
I have had a lot of very drunk people, and they usually end up puking in the car.
Well, that's not good.
No.
So when they puke in the car, you got to clean it before. Part of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Do you keep a cleaning kit in your trunk?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll have like a bottle of Lysol, spray foam stuff, I think some wipes. Usually I'll go hit the car wash or something, and the one here is kind of ghetto, but if I'm up in like Coeur d'Alene or something, they have some nicer ones that have like a foam brush thing. But I started carrying puke bags. That has kind of curbed that at least a little bit. And if they make it in that and they don't get it in, like if I have to touch it, then I charge them for it. If it's on the outside, they just tip me the $10 and I'll go to the car wash. Like if I don't have to touch it, I don't really care. But if it's in the inside, then I'll charge them.
Yeah. So how does it work if they're one of them that has your number and they call you? Then do you still go through Uber and Lyft, or you just do it off the books?
Just off the books.
And they pay you just cash?
Cash or Venmo.
How do you arrive at how much you're going to charge them?
I just charge a flat rate, usually of $5 a ride in town, and $20 if they're going over to Moscow or to Pullman, because I usually get $3 to maybe $5-6 on an in-town ride, but those are usually pretty rare. It's usually like $3 and change. But then it charges them like 10 to 12, so it makes me a couple bucks more, and then it saves them a couple bucks. And then Pullman is like $30-$35 for them, and then I get 17 to 22 somewhere in there. So
you've driven as far as Coeur d'Alene?
I've driven people from here to Spokane. And then I'll drive around up there.
How about Lewiston? Do you go down to Lewiston, Clarkston and stuff?
Some, yeah. It's pretty rare, but people going down to the casino outside of Lewiston. Last weekend I had a couple guys, picked them up at John's Alley, and the only hotel that they could find in town for the week was in Clarkston at the Holiday Inn there by Costco. And so I had to take them all the way down there.
That's got to eat up your time on your ride back.
It does. It gets me about $60 though. So in the grand scheme, like a Pullman ride puts me out for 45 minutes or so by the time I pick them up, get over there, drop them off, get back over, and it's only $20. So going down there, it's about double that, but about triple the money. So
you don't mind?
I don't mind. Yeah, I'll go wherever anyone's willing to pay. So.
Okay.
No problems though. No robberies. You haven't been.
Nope.
Nobody's tried to stick you up or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay.
Had a couple of sketchy ones up in Spokane, but they were just sketchy people. They were fine behavior-wise towards me. They just try not to drive over there just because it is a rougher crowd.
Okay. Where does your family live?
It's where my mom and basically dad live.
Okay. Do you know what a K-bar knife is? Mm-hmm. Have you seen? Describe to me what a K-bar is.
K-bar, that's like the bayonet style that goes on like over the end of like an A2 style AR-15, correct?
Yeah, they have like the brown leather handle.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was thinking of just like a composite handle. But yeah, I've seen them on like Forged and Fire and stuff like that.
Yeah, usually like brown leather scabbard, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Do you own one of those?
I own a like bayonet like style with like the ring hook. Buddy gave it to me, but it's like a black composite handle.
Is it for your AR rifle?
He gave it to me. I don't have the style that it'll fit on, but I was trying to find like a lug to attach it to one just because I thought it'd be kind of cool, but I haven't been able to find a lug that you can just buy to just attach that without the whole gas block system.
Okay. I don't have any other more background stuff. Do you want to start with the ride history? And all
Sure.
that?
So let's go with that night. All right. When did you what was the first ride that you, I'm talking about the night, the 13th.
Okay, yeah.
So when did you get on duty? Let's call it that. When did you log on?
I would say all my records are on my phone. I don't have the greatest memory, but I worked the night before till about 3, 4 in the morning, something like that. I was going to try and start driving around 10 because it was WSU's game.
10 at night?
In the morning.
In the morning, okay.
And I was going to start.
So, Saturday the 12th is the day we're talking about.
Yeah.
That you drove.
Yep.
Okay.
So Friday the 11th. Sorry, I wolfed down a piece of pizza because I hadn't eaten all day, but I got your call. It's not sitting very well. So yeah, I had been up till 3 or 4 in the morning on Friday, night, Saturday morning, however you want to think of it, driving, and then went to bed, and then I wanted to start driving around 10. Ended up not waking up till 10, so I probably didn't start driving until 10:30, 11ish or so. Tried to catch a few rides over to Pullman for their game because it was like $20 or so. And I ended up not getting any rides over there. I got one ride from LLCs, I think, some dorms on campus, living learning communities, to Les Schwab for a guy to get his car or something. And I think that was my only ride of the afternoon, because then I shut the apps off around, I think, like 1ish maybe, to make some lunch, make some food, and then I think I started driving again around 3 or 4. And then, if I remember right, it was pretty steady after that till 3 or 4, Saturday night, Sunday morning, whenever it was that I got home.
Is that usually a standard block of time when it gets busy, or is it just because of the games?
The games, and it was WC's Parents Weekend. It was U of I's senior night, last home game. So those days are more busy typically, but usually I don't start driving till like 7-ish, 8 o'clock, something like that at night, and then I'll drive till 2 or 3 in the morning, but usually by 3 it's pretty dead. Usually by 3 it's died off, and so especially if I start getting tired, my kind of just personal rule is I'll start driving home. If I make it home before I get a ride, then I'll shut off the apps.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're in bed 3:30.
Typically, yeah. I think that night, I think it was 4-ish maybe. I had that last ride there at 3:06. I don't think I had a ride after that, on the books, off the books, regardless. But like, we have Ring cameras on both of our doors and on our driveway, so I can check that and tell you exactly what time I got home. But somewhere around in there.
Okay. So,
so you think that you got home on Sunday around 3, between 3 and 4?
Between 3 and 4, I would say probably closer to 3:34 or something like that, because I had that ride at 3:06, and it was just at campus. But as far as I remember, I just went home after that one, and then I didn't get another ride.
So, but on this night, she wasn't there because she was with her parents. Mm-hmm. So your alibi is going to be supported with your Ring camera footage. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So I guess what we'll ask you to do is to log in. Do you pay the fee so it keeps the footage?
Yeah, we pay. It keeps the footage. I'm pretty sure we pay a fee for it. But yeah, I can go back in time and see all my history or whatever.
Okay. So, if you would...
I don't know my login off the top of my head. I can try and figure it out when it gets back. But
no, if you would, can you just kind of draw a sketch of your house and the streets, and then where you park, and then where the camera is or cameras that you have, and what they show?
Yeah. Let's see. Did not think about my paper right here. Looks like we have a front porch. So there's one right here on the front door that sees the whole front yard and the front porch and everything. And then we have, I did not space that out. We have a garage right here, and then our fence kind of comes up like this. And so my pickup is parked on the far side. We have a little ghetto camper right here, and then pretty sure I parked right here, kind of in the last space that was available, and there's a ring camera on the front, like the peak of the garage, looking out at the vehicles, and the roadway right here. And then we have a back porch, and then there's a ring camera right here on our back door.
Okay, so how many vehicles do you have?
Total, we have 3.
Can you just initial that for me? Okay, so I'm sorry. You have the and a pickup. Mm-hmm. What's the pickup? This is the diesel that's lifted?
Yeah, it's not lifted anymore. I took the lift off. Trying to earn some brownie points with the wife.
And then what's your wife drive?
She drives it.
And she had driven this vehicle up to her parents. So the 2 vehicles that you had access to were the
Jot.
I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And those vehicles are both covered by this camera here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so after you're home, if you had left again, we'd see that.
Yeah, it would trigger it. And then I'm pretty sure I have the garage one set up because it's on just a continual power supply. It takes pictures on so many increments.
So you don't have to have movement.
Correct. I'm pretty sure it's set up that way. That it takes. I don't remember what the increment is. I know the back door is not set up that way, but the front door is set up that way. But the back door, it's right by the front, right by the door. And like I tried to turn the sensitivity down because even like the squirrels were setting it off, and it still didn't work. So
this Ring brand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you can provide us with a recording of this. Is that correct? You know how to do that?
Yeah. You can export videos.
Okay.
I don't know if I can export like the interval pictures. I've never tried. But yeah, it's all attached to the account.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about that night with your pickups here. Mm-hmm. What time did you first... Well, let's back up. What's your past relationship, for lack of a better word, with Kaylee and Maddie and anybody else associated with that residence?
Sorry. That residence is hard because it's very popular. All of King Street is very popular over the years. And that one has a lot of people that have come through it, especially like alumni that come back for like homecomings and just come to visit. I had not gotten names and faces down for there. I would show up, pick up whoever. Kaylee is the one that usually texts me. But it took me quite a while to even figure out which one she was, because there's always a group there. You know, it's never just like usually one person. But even like when we got the vandal alert, like something on King Street, I tried to text everyone I could remember that lived on King Street. And I never heard back from Kaylee, obviously, which makes sense now. But I also never heard back from and I thought she lived there or one of the houses next door, and it's like, well, you know, it's not my business necessarily if she's okay, but I just thought it was kind of weird. I never heard back from her, but I thought maybe she lived there. But I pick them up. They text me like, "Hey, can you give us a ride?" Sometimes they'd come through the app. Sometimes they'd come through text messages. And I'd pull up and meet them wherever they told me to, and give them a ride to wherever they told me to. Sorry, kind of forgot what your question was.
Well, how long have you know Kaylee on a first name basis, mm-hmm. because you've given her, how many rides do you think you've given her?
I don't know, maybe 10 to 15.
Since when?
I think I've been giving her rides since maybe beginning of last year. I think we got connected during last school year. But like, I'm on a first name basis, but I don't know her last name. At least I can't think of it off the top of my head. When they Venmo me, sometimes I'll see last names. But like, at least right now, I can't even think what her last name was. Well, obviously in the news article. But yeah,
So, of the four of them, which ones of them have you given rides to?
I know Kaylee and Maddie. I think they were usually together. A couple of blonde gals. I assume I've probably given the other two a ride, but I couldn't tell you for sure. Either way, I didn't recognize either of the names, but people aren't usually saying like, "Hey."
You don't recognize the male in there?
Maybe. I picked up a couple guys from there over the years, but they're usually with the group, and it's not like people are, "Hey, this is Ethan," or,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're like, "Hey, you haven't met this so-and-so," but I'm like, "Hey," but it happens a lot, so.
Here's pictures of him without facial hair.
Doesn't even look like the same guy. I think he looks like he's like 30. Maybe.
It's okay.
I don't know.
All right.
At least, especially when the names came out, especially Xana, was that? I didn't recognize that one at all.
Okay.
That's a pretty unique name, so I think I would probably remember it. But.
And you have driven Kaylee away from that location and back to that location
mm-hmm.
on multiple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
People associated with that house.
Okay. Is it a place where you're familiar with? Is there other houses in there that you go to, kind of the same thing, other people?
Mm-hmm. There's they call it King Cabin, but it's kind of the cabin-y looking house at the top of King Street. There's two houses that are connected on kind of the right side, and this one's kind of on the left side. Those are probably like my most regular customers. This house right up here.
This is King Cabin.
Yeah, so King Street.
Yeah.
So the two that are connected, that's probably where my most common or most regular customers, or however you want to think of it, right now are. I think, and
they're here.
Yeah, those are the ones I usually pick up. But all these, like the whites, is what they call these ones right here. A lot of rides out of there. Quite a few rides last year out of here.
Do you know him?
I don't think so. No.
Associated with this house?
There was a guy that got out here one night when I was Ubering Zoe, but I don't think he had facial hair.
Okay.
I just know that that's Beta Theta Pi, mostly on, I think, this side, and then I think maybe Sigma Nu on this side.
Okay.
Ubered a guy that was a Sigma Nu the other day because he's cousins with a friend of mine.
Do you know what his name is?
I want to say it started with, but I don't remember. He's cousins with who I went to high school with and was in with and everything. And he's
okay.
And so you called these apartments here what?
The campus calls them the Whites. Just
the Whites.
They're two giant white apartments, and so I get a lot of rides out of here.
Did you pick up Kaylee out of here last year?
I would believe so, but I
don't remember.
Yeah, I get a lot of rides kind of from all over, and then kids moving all over. Unless like in them, like I see them almost every weekend. A few others, like last year for about 3 years, I Ubered two gals about every weekend, and like I knew where they went, typically where they were going, and that sort of thing. But some of these kind of peripheral people, then kind of the kids started giving my number out to friends and everything, and so I'd be like, who is this again? Like, I had someone, I think that night, texted me. I have him on my phone, so I assume I've met them before, but I was like, I don't even remember if this is a guy or a gal. But they're friends of friends or something like that. They share my number around some.
So when you got home between 3:30 and 4, did you receive a call or a text asking to come pick somebody up to take them to go get food?
Not that night. I did get a text Thursday night, I think it was. Something like that. A gal had texted like, hey, can we get a ride to Grub Truck? And I didn't see it for a couple of minutes. I was like, oh, sorry, just saw this. She's like, oh, it's okay, we're home now. And then was like, but if you wanted to bring us Grub Truck, I'll pay you anything. And then I tried to pull up the Grub Truck stream because I kind of wanted to Grub Truck myself, and it was off.
We gotta go to this place.
I know.
Well, they live stream everything, of course, and so it's kind of how I check to see if they're still open. And sometimes they close early on slower nights. And I pulled up the stream, and it was off. And so I just texted back, it looks like they're closed already. The stream's off.
But you think that was Thursday night?
I don't think it was Saturday night / Sunday morning. No, I think it was Thursday night, maybe Friday night. But I don't think it was Saturday night.
So I'm going to go back to these apartments. Mm-hmm. I've only driven up here a couple of times, so I'm not familiar. So we have the Whites, and then up the hill is these two big multi-story apartments. What are those called?
At least when I was in school, we called them the Queens, just because it's on Queen Street.
Do you get a lot of calls to go up there and pick up people?
Not really. It's pretty rare to go up there.
Are they associated with the school?
It's mostly students, I think, yeah.
Okay.
But like they're not university owned or anything. I'll get a ride once in a while up there. A buddy of mine's sister lived up there for a year. So her and her friends, I dropped them off once or twice, but it's pretty rare. Once in a while I'll go do the loop just to turn around, depending on how many cars are parked right here. But usually, especially if I was dropping off at this house, I was able to just turn and then back out and then go.
Right.
Okay. Should we get into the specifics of that came up that night?
Yeah.
Okay, so what time about did you first hear from Kaylee or anybody associated with this house about coming and picking them up?
I think Kaylee texted me early, like 2, 3, it seems like it was early afternoon, asking if I was working that night or that day, and I said I was, but I never heard back from her. And then I think it's like 10 something is when she texted and asked if I could give him a ride to the club.
Which club?
Corner Club. Everyone just calls it the club.
Okay.
Corner Club. And so I picked him up.
Was that a text or phone call?
Text. Picked him up, gave him a ride to the club. I think there was 3 of them. I was trying to remember when Officer Blaker was interviewing me. Because I think there was at least two in the back seat.
All females?
I think so, yes. Gave him a ride to the club, dropped him off.
Directly from there, directly to the club without any stops in between?
Correct.
So where is this club? Where is the club at?
It's right on the north end of Main Street, right before Han Rental. It's on like the one-way part of 95 before it merges at the next light to then have traffic going both ways.
Would you describe this area that we're talking about as the business district? Is it an entertainment district?
I would describe it as Main Street.
Okay.
Pretty much everything, entertainment and business-wise, is all on Main Street.
Okay.
The major road kind of makes a little horseshoe kind of thing, so each side of Main Street is one way. And it's right on the end, right before they kind of merge back together.
Okay.
How many times, if at all, before had you taken Kaylee and Maddie or either one of them from their house to the corner club?
Probably several. That's usually where everyone's going, is the corner club. Occasionally I'll have rides to other places, but most people are going to the corner club. I think all of this in general is why I've gotten Kaylee and Maddie's names drilled down so hard, but before this I didn't really, they'd get in and I just knew it was a group. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I keep it pretty impersonal, or, ask them like, how was the night? How was downtown? Head to the club, right? Whatever. But
Have you ever had a conversation with one or both or any of them, or overheard a conversation where they were, talking about something that was upsetting to them, their relationship or something that made them upset?
I don't think so. Blaker asked me the same kind of thing, like if they had said anything about that night or in general. I don't think so. I've definitely had some people like just bawling their eyes out in the seat next to me about their shitty friends or shitty significant other or whatever. But I don't, everything seemed normal. I think if anything, whenever anyone gets in the car, I'm like, hey, how's it going? And how's the day? How's the night? Whatever. Usually everyone says, oh, good, oh, great, whatever.
You're being personal.
Yeah, but I try and keep it, being the only Uber and Lyft driver, I do my very best to try not to be a creep. Because if anyone gets that vibe, I'm going to quickly be out of a job. So try my best to just keep it as professional or whatever as I can. But then, yeah, it's, how's the night going? Oh, good. Occasionally I've had someone say, oh, it's awful. But those are pretty rare, and so I usually remember those. Like, one time this gal said, oh, it's shitty, and then I was taking her to the ER. I was like, oh, yeah, probably is shitty. But nothing stood out. Everything seemed normal. They were going to the club.
Could you tell if they'd been drinking before they left to go to the club?
I would assume so, but most of the people I see are already a few in, so it's rare for me to see anyone sober to know for sure, like, oh, that's them sober versus, oh, this is them drunk. But they weren't like, slurring their words or falling down or anything like that.
So when you went and picked them up, you think there was possibly 3 girls. Do you remember what the conversation was on the way to the club? What they were talking about?
I don't. I don't remember it being anything crazy. I think asked them how the week had been, if they went to the game. I think we probably talked about the football game and that it was a disappointing loss and all that. But that's kind of the perk / downside to it, like I had the same conversation pretty much all night. Like same, what'd you do today? Did you go to the game? Oh yeah, it was, so distinguishing rides is hard. I don't remember anything standing out as far as like, them complaining about anything or upset about anything.
They weren't fighting amongst themselves or arguing amongst themselves?
No. If anything, on the way home, Maddie and Kaylee were bickering a little bit between themselves. Mostly Kaylee towards Maddie.
So let's talk about that. So you drop them off the club, and then you go give a bunch more people rides. And then what happens vis-a-vis the two of them?
So I had a ride request at King Street from this. I think that was the address. That's where the pickup pin was, at least. And it said Kaylee on it. That's who I was looking for, and it was spelled the same way. But then it got canceled. The rider canceled it. And so right as I started to pull away, then I got a text from Kaylee asking if I could come get her and a friend from Grub Truck. And so got down there, and it was Maddie.
About what time was that?
They texted me at 1:45, I believe. Got down there, I pulled in front of Grub Truck, and so I texted her like where I parked at, and they could probably see me, but again, everyone's drunk, so it's really hard to find the only car that's down there running. And so I park in front of Grub Truck, so they got their mac and cheese, and they came up to the car from the back. Kaylee got in the front seat, Maddie got in the back, and they were splitting a mac and cheese, a carbonara mac, and kind of asked them how the night was. I don't remember him saying like awful or so and so or whatever. As far as I know, she said it was fine. And then she was on her phone. Kaylee was on her phone and pretty enthralled in that. And so I just was driving, had the radio on, and then she's like, "Hey, don't eat all the mac and cheese," to Kaylee. Or Kaylee said that to Maddie, Maddie was sitting in the back seat. And she's like, "What?" And she's like, "Don't eat all the mac and cheese. We're going to split that." And she's like, "I'm not." She's like, "I can hear your dirty little fingers in there eating it." She was eating the mac and cheese with her hands. And then, like, kind of bickered a little bit about that, but it wasn't anything even like remotely alarming. It was just a couple drunk people arguing over mac and cheese. But then dropped them off. I pulled in the driveway. They got out.
You drove directly from Grub Truck to here.
Yep.
Didn't stop anywhere else.
Nope. I took Main Street south to 6th Street, I think. I turned right on 6th, and then at the next intersection there by Jimmy John's, turned left on Troy Highway, whatever that is. And then I think I took that all the way to Taylor by the A&W gas station, and then I turned right on Taylor, and then drove right straight down here. Pulled in their driveway. It's easier to turn around that way. They got out.
You came here, did this, drove here.
Turned in right here, yeah, into their driveway.
But this is this way.
Yep. Maddie was definitely more intoxicated, I felt like, than Kaylee. Kaylee was quieter, but Maddie was stumbling pretty hard. And so I just kind of, everywhere as I'm backing out, kind of take my time, make sure they make it in okay. And so I backed out, and they both went inside, and everything seemed fine. And
you saw them go inside? Mm-hmm. Saw the door shut behind them?
No, I did not. I saw Kaylee go in, and then right as I was kind of turning up the road, then Maddie went in, and I was driving away then. I didn't see the door physically shut, no.
How many cars would you say were in the driveway or the parking area in front? Would you say it's crowded?
It was a little bit. I think there was 4 in the physical driveway, and then there was 1 or 2 parked right here on the side of the road, because I remember as I was backing out, making that corner was kind of tight. Have a whole lot of ground clearance in general, and there's kind of a curb that sticks out, but there was like a black SUV parked right here that kind of made it tight. And
were the lights on in the apartments?
I don't remember the whole thing lit up, but there was lights on inside, yeah. Especially like that main door, because like when they opened the door, the light was on right there. I think there was a couple others inside.
How many cars did you estimate were parked there?
I think there was 4 in the physical driveway itself. I think there was 3, and then the 4th double parked right on the far side.
And that was a black SUV?
I think it was a black SUV, yes.
So it didn't look like there was a party going on in the place, but there were lights on.
Correct.
Do you remember if they were lights on downstairs or the upper floors?
I don't. I know there's one on downstairs because when they opened the door, like the light was on.
They don't have a porch light or a driveway light?
They do have one, I think, on the exterior of their house, but it's usually off whenever I drive up, because then, especially like this house has some really steep stairs and they don't have one, so as I'm backing out, the headlights kind of give them a little bit of light. But I'm pretty sure they do have an exterior light. I don't remember it being on, though. I remember thinking it was kind of dark.
Do you remember seeing a red Jeep Wrangler parked in the driveway?
I don't think so. I think...
Could there have been one and you just don't remember it? Yeah,
very easily. I remember the black car, and then I think there was a silver car parked right here on the road, because those were the two I was kind of trying to maneuver around. But yeah, I believe there was, and I believe there wasn't.
So that's cars. Let's talk about people. Was there anybody walking on the roads?
No, it was pretty quiet. It's kind of not unusual, but a little weird. But it's also getting pretty cold. We lost, so especially like on King Street, there's usually kind of a lot of traffic as people walk back over. I mean, these are all off-campus apartments, especially big in the Greek communities. But I don't remember seeing anyone as I pulled away, because Kaylee had said that she was eating mac and cheese in the backseat with her hands. That didn't sound super good. So as I pulled out, I parked right here on this corner for just a second.
Okay, which is the intersection of
King and Taylor.
Okay.
I just pulled off there just for a second, turned on my light. Sure enough, there was mac and cheese noodles and some breadcrumbs on my back seat. So I hopped out real quick and brushed those off. I don't remember seeing anyone walking in this area. There might have been someone along in here crossing or getting ready to cross to the Whites or one of these houses. Because whenever I'm driving, seems like there's always someone crossing this field, and they're just in all dark clothing, and then they just start walking out in the middle of the road. I did have a lot of rides there, so it's hard to keep them all straight. But I think there might have been a couple or something like right here getting ready to cross into the Whites, or had just crossed.
When you stopped your car here, did you
stop down here?
You stopped down here.
Yeah.
You got out of your car to brush the macaroni and cheese out.
Yeah. Yeah, I went ahead and turned.
This is what?
Taylor.
So you were King and Taylor.
Yeah, I just turned sharp, so I was kind of not in the middle of the intersection, because that is a tight intersection. And I just parked kind of like right here by this bush and hopped out, brushed off the mac and cheese and bacon bits and whatever, and then hopped back in the car because I had a ride immediately after that I was heading to.
So let's go back to people. Was there anybody in the driveway of this house where Kaylee and Maddie?
Not when I pulled up, no.
How did they pay you for that ride?
They actually never did. It's not unusual for any of the off-the-books works. I'll get Venmos the next day. Just on Sunday, my phone will just go off. Especially like they always Venmo me on Sunday. So it's not uncommon at all. But they never paid me for either of those rides that night. So I never received anything from either of them.
So you picked them up from their house and took them to the club, and they didn't pay you for that ride?
Mm-hmm. Especially with the college kids, it's not unusual for them to like the next day they're sorted out and like, hey, you Venmo me $250, you Venmo me, and then they just send me one amount or whatever. I've never had anyone not pay me, so I've never really been worried about it.
So you've never had to text somebody and say, hey, you didn't pay me?
Nope.
Okay.
They always remember.
How does Uber deal with that? So this was off the books?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever give rides to any of these people for free?
No.
Give me a second. I'm going to check on his phone.
There's always understanding that they'll pay me.
Have you ever had an occasion to go into this house?
No.
Have you ever gone into any of the houses of people that you pick up?
No. Not through the... I had been in a couple of these houses, but through the rides and everything, no. I've never gone into anyone's house. Closest I came is this house was bringing in someone that was pretty drunk one night, and she dropped her phone. It was my regulars, and so I followed her up with the phone and gave her the phone as they went inside.
Okay. What else?
I can't think of anything right now. If we get a hold of you, would you? Okay. So I'm interested in the videos. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're going to either task you with that, or we'll ask we can do it. But we're interested in that video because obviously there's that.
Yeah.
Did you stop and talk to anybody else other than your passengers in your car? So did you pull up to get something to eat somewhere and talk to somebody? Did you pull into Starbucks to get something to drink?
Not after that. I stopped by some of the gas stations sometimes to get energy drinks and stuff like that, but at that point in the night I was pretty much trying to kind of ease off the caffeine so I could actually go to sleep. I couldn't tell you when the last time I stopped was. It was probably at the Stinker station next to Tri-State on the Moscow-Pullman Highway. I go there pretty frequently. Sometimes I go to the A&W, but I don't think I even went there at all that night.
When do you eat?
I usually eat dinner around kind of a normal time, take a break, whatever.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Were Kaylee and Maddie, when you gave them... Well, let me ask you this. The third girl with them, do you know who that was?
I don't.
Does anyone ring a bell?
Maybe. It seems familiar with that house.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you what she looks like or if she was in the car.
Okay, so you don't know whether you'd given her a ride before. Did you ask... Did it come up why she wasn't with them when you picked them up at the Grub Truck?
No. But I pick them up at the bars... And I realize that someone's missing. Sometimes I'll ask them, like, hey, where's your third or your fourth? But if I pick them up somewhere else, I just figure they parted company. They're with friends or whatever. So, no, I didn't ask them.
I was just asking about the third girl.
Oh, okay.
Didn't ask. Was it the state of inebriation that you observed them in at the end of the night? Was that pretty typical for Kaylee and Maddie?
I'd say it was typical in general. It wasn't like excessive, like, dang, that's one of the drunkest people I've ever had, or anything like that.
Just watching the video from the Grub Truck, I mean, it's obvious they've been drinking.
Yeah.
They're kind of stumbling around a little bit. So
I don't think I didn't have any thoughts of like, dang, they were hammered or anything like that. So I don't think that was untypical for them. But as far as like that house, I think it's pretty normal. If anything, they're usually more kind of on the sober side. I can't remember. There's been some that have stumbled every once in a while, but for the most part, they got it pretty well together. Because especially like in the winter and stuff like that, that driveway gets super slick, and I've never had anyone take a spill or anything like that.
So I'm going to write down here. Their state of inebriation was pretty normal or standard.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. Pretty standard.
So, do you know what these girls we're talking about, Kaylee and the other girl, do you know what they're studying in school? Do you just talk about school at all?
Sometimes, if I ask someone about school, especially if it's someone I don't have all the time, I'll usually ask them, how much time do you have left? Stuff like that. If I get close to graduation, what you have planned afterwards. I couldn't have told you what they were studying. Even the university even put it out, and I think one of them used to be in the College of Ed. But that didn't ring a bell, like as far as, oh yeah, I did know that or anything. So at least I didn't know it enough that it stuck. I'm sure they probably had told me at some point. Cause that
it's not one of the conversations that you have with the students?
It is usually talk about school, talk about, how, you get your test done, how's the week been, excited for break, stuff like that. But as far as like content area, I'll ask it, but it doesn't really stick a whole lot.
All right. And so I'm going to couch this with, would you describe this evening we're talking about late into the morning as mostly you were off the books?
No, most of them were on the books. I did have a few off, so the one I was going to, as soon as I dropped them off, that was off the books as well.
Okay.
And then after I dropped him off, I came home, and then I was home till I got that 3 o'clock ride. Went and gave that, and then I came home right after that, and that was my last.
So a percentage of that day or night, what percentage was on the books and what percentage was off the books is what I guess I'm asking.
Off the books, 5-10% probably.
Okay.
I had a couple, but for the most part, everything was through the apps.
Okay.
I had a couple people that texted me, or at least one that texted me that never heard from him. I asked if I was working. I was like, yeah. That's it. But sometimes people just text me to see if I'm working to then know if they should just wait to order a ride through the apps or if there's no drivers. Yeah. So, like, if I go to Pullman, it shows that there's no one available until I get back. So sometimes people will, like...
So you're the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When you heard this had happened, what did you think?
I was pretty shocked, but I was like, "There's no way it's a student. It's it's an unconscious person." Figured maybe somebody drunk fell down this hill, or passed out in the cold. I mean, it's happened up here before, where drunk people have walked off and froze to death.
At what point did you think that's what it was?
When I first heard the police were responding to an unconscious person through the vandal alert, and it was on King Street, and so I texted 4 people that I thought all lived on King Street. Kaylee, and then I think was the other one. And through them, one of them was like, yeah, it's, super scary, don't know what to do, whatever.
Sorry, who did you text?
I think is how you say her last name. I'll say spelling.
Butcher this. Okay.
And then they both live right here.
Yeah, and she's a friend of Kaylee's, I think.
Mm-hmm. So when I texted her, I texted all of them at the same time, and then Kaylee,
and who else?
I think. Is the other person? I don't know her last name. I just know her as other. I have one that is kind of friends with everyone here, and
girl.
Yeah, at one time
other girl.
Yeah, they're like, can you go pick up other? And that's how they refer to her. I don't know what her last name is. But I texted all 4 of them. Replied back that. Something like, like super scary, don't know what to do or something like that. And then texted back like, yeah, praying for Kaylee's house. And so that's how I figured out kind of what house it was at. And then I never heard back from Kaylee, obviously, and I never heard back.
When did you become aware that it was a quadruple homicide and that they'd been stabbed to death?
The quadruple homicide through the vandal alerts, the stabbing just whenever the press release went out, edged weapon. We're all kind of trying to hypothesize or whatever. So then when we said 4 dead, we're like kind of thinking, probably like fentanyl. They probably were doing some drugs or something. And they just, party drugs, whatever, and probably got fentanyl. And then heard through kind of the grapevine, people were thinking there was a lot of blood. And so then I was like, well, even King Street doesn't sound enough to sleep through 4 gunshots. There's no way that would go unnoticed. And so then I was thinking it was probably either stabbing or blunt force, and then found out edged weapon or edged-like weapon, whatever was in the press release.
When did the vandal alert come out that 4 were dead?
I couldn't tell you. The first one I think got sent out at 1:05.
Same day though.
Yeah. They're all on my phone. All the text messages the university sent out.
So when you finally understood that 4 were dead and that they'd been murdered with a knife, what did you think?
This doesn't happen in Moscow. This is just first thought. Kind of once I got past the shock of it, when we found out male and females, kind of figured, especially grade levels. He was a freshman, and I think they were all juniors and seniors. Kind of figured he got the boot, and then kind of flipped on him. But then they're all the same age levels and everything, and obviously the pictures and everything. It doesn't seem like that would probably be the way that would go. But no, it's just initial shock of this never happens. This is Moscow. Every door on that side of town is probably unlocked. I remember when we had a buddy that went missing one night, and we were going through all of our friends' houses trying to find him, and it was finals test, so everyone was out of their houses, and every house that we went through on that street, the doors were unlocked, and we were just going in hey, where, are you here? Are you here? Ended up he was in the drunk tank, but it's a super safe town community. No one locks their doors, and so then to hear that something like this had happened was pretty.
Do you have any ideas of who might have done this?
And only they're college students. They always seemed totally normal. It wasn't like they were, super mean or anything like that, or said anything about, making fun of people or anything like that. It's just normal people, especially there. It's not, probably a fair amount of party drugs and stuff like that. But nothing hardcore or anything to be violence over that. Not anything, it's not a violent town in general, especially anywhere like that that's close to campus. There's partying for sure, but nothing violent. There's not even usually fights or anything. Usually if the cops go to anything, it's turn noise complaints and stuff, it seems like. So
I'm somewhat familiar.
Oh, okay.
With the town.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they party and everything, but the only, part of town that sketches me out at all is downtown. 109 is not the most kosher people live there, and there's a public bathroom down there, so every night, not every night, but when I'm driving sometimes I'll slip through there to go just use the bathroom, because just come home. And the last time I did that, I walked in and there was I don't know how to say it without profiling, but a crackhead at the sink, and I was well, kind of already committed. I was going to the bathroom, and he was sharpening a fillet knife at 2:30 in the morning in this bathroom, and I just was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but try not to profile this guy. Like, probably,
when was this?
A couple months ago. Like, he like crackheads. They kind of like very jumpy maneuvers, and he all of a sudden like bolted to the bathroom stall behind me to get like toilet paper or something to wipe off his knife, and I jumped really bad, and I felt kind of bad afterwards. Like, wait a second, this guy's sharpening a knife in a public bathroom downtown at 2:30 at night or 1:30 or whatever it was. But I mean, it was a while ago.
Hang on. A couple of months ago. Where exactly?
The public restrooms downtown. There's only one set of them. They're just off the playground on what we call Friendship Square. Scrawny.
What time of night?
It was late. It was towards the end of my night. So
weekend?
Probably. Yeah. Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, 1:30, 2:30, something like that.
And you started to say scrawny?
Yeah, he's just a thin build, white guy, tattoos. Like a white tank top on or something.
How tall?
Shorter than me, so I mean, I'm not that tall, but 5'10" maybe. And just assumed he came from across the street. 109. Excuse me.
What is 109?
It's the address. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what the street is. It's right there. It's like a low income, like housing development or housing.
Okay, I've got a laptop here I'm pulling up that's got a map on it, so let's, here, I'll let you drive.
Okay. Let's see here. Where are we? Oh, Gypsy Java. AW. Okay, Main Street. So, right across the street from the old police department, 4th Street. Okay, it is 4th Street. These apartments right here. No, it says 107. There's some apartments right here that are like.
Where's the bathroom at you're talking about?
Oh, sorry. So this is Friendship Square right here, and the bathrooms are this little building right here. So I would just pull in, go to the bathroom real quick, and then turn around and leave.
So what is it about 109 that says crackheads?
It's, I don't know how to describe it. It's like as I understand it, there was this, like, mobile home park out of town not a long ways, but a ways, called Syringa. It went up because they weren't maintaining it and everything. There's people squatting in it for forever. And they finally kicked out all the squatters. I guess a bunch of them moved into 109. High drug use, high, like, mental health issues. That sort of, kind of like, quote-unquote, undesirable kind of population frequents there and lives there, I guess. And like I've had passengers that have walked from campus. There's one that walks from campus sometimes to Anytime Fitness, which is clear at the others, into Main Street. And she's made a comment of like people start following her when she walks through there and stuff like that. It's a rougher section of town.
How old of a guy?
Not like super old, but older than me, probably 30s maybe.
Remember what he was wearing?
I think a white tank top. 'Cause I think I could see like his shoulders, and then maybe a hat. It was a while ago. Just after that, I was
sharpening the fillet knife on.
He was fiddling with it. It looked like maybe he had like a little sharpening stone or something. I just remember thinking that was what he was doing. But
was he at the sink?
Yeah, he was at the sink.
Can you describe the knife?
Just a, I don't know, yay long or so, just a typical little thin blade fillet knife.
Like for fish?
Yeah, for fish.
Curved, pointy?
I think it was straight, but it had, the kind of curve in at the hilt where it goes into like the thinner part of the blade. I think I remember seeing that, but he was like holding it like this. I just remember thinking it was a fillet knife.
Between, you're like, showing it.
Yeah, he was like holding it and then like fiddling with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just glanced at it and was just like, oh, I should have turned around. And then trying to like kind of watch him out of the corner of my eye, do my thing as quick as I could and get out of there. And then, I haven't gone back to those since because I'm like, that was...
Do you ever see those kind of folks walking around town, or do they pretty much confine themselves to that area?
They pretty much stay downtown. There's one guy he's a pretty big guy, always in kind of like tan sweatshirt, sweatpants. His ass is always hanging out, long hair, big beard. He kind of moseys around downtown a fair amount. But
you ever see him walking over here?
Mm-mm. I don't usually see anyone like that over there. It's usually all college students.
Okay. How are they doing on his phone?
Well, I'll go check again.
Okay. Is there anything else we haven't talked about that you think we should talk about?
I don't think so. I mean, one thing I was kind of surprised, I guess, that didn't go over in the first interview was just that, like, where I went the rest of the night and everything. But yeah, I mean, nothing stood out from the night in general. Everyone kind of, when I asked them, how's the night been? Everyone was like, oh, it's mid, or it's so-so. Like, there wasn't anyone that was, oh, tonight was amazing, or anything like that, but...
How many rides do you think you gave after you dropped them off back at the house?
After I dropped them off, I think only the two.
The two.
I had the one guy that I went to after I dropped them off, and then picked him up at John's Alley, and then he lives out on Indian Hills Drive. Dropped him off.
That was off the books.
Yeah. That was in my phone. His name is, letters. I think his name I think. And then dropped him off at his house out on Indian Hill, I think it's Indian Hills Drive, and then drove home, and then left the apps on for a little bit while I played some video games or something, and then got that one other ride on Lyft, I think at 306, and then after them I went home and didn't get another ride.
Where'd the Lyft ride go to?
The Lyft ride was that one from 119 to Delta Gamma, and it's right on campus. It's on Elm and... can I use this again?
I think I know where the DG house is.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, if you went to school here. Yeah, right there on middle of Greek Row. They reversed the one-ways around a little bit, so pulled up between Pi Phi and Pi Kappa Phi, and then just turned right there at their anchor and stopped. And then I'm pretty sure it was two girls and a guy, because I think the two girls walked towards DG, and then he was walking towards Beta, because I was trying to see where everyone went as I was trying to pull away, and they were separating but still talking, and he was kind of standing in the middle of the road.
And then back home.
Mm-hmm.
What video games were you playing?
I played, I got the new Call of Duty. Pretty sure I was playing that. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
So phone's done.
Cool.
Okay.
Here's the consent form. Let me talk to you a couple of seconds real quick so we can organize something or not organize something or whatever we're doing. So we're leaving the room here real quick. We're still on video, so
Okay.
pick your nose. So, you know what? We're damn near done.
Okay.
The last thing that we're interested in, if you're willing to let us look inside of your car. Did you drive your Uber car?
I did.
Okay.
I was going to try and drive this weekend. I was planning to drive last night. So I'm usually the only one.
So what we'd like to do is we don't want to draw attention to you,
Okay.
and there's media all around here.
Okay.
And if we look inside your car or search your car or anything here in the parking lot, they're going to take pictures of us doing that, and your car is going to be on the front page of every newspaper on the world tomorrow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we want to avoid that.
Okay.
So
Appreciate it.
what we'd like to do, if you're willing, is we'd like you to drive. Let's see, where are we? We're in here somewhere.
That's Palouse River Drive right there.
Yeah, so we're up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'd like you to come down to Palouse River Drive and drive out here and drive in here, and this is an ITD yard. So just drive down to the ITD yard. We'll hop in an unmarked car.
Okay.
We'll follow you down there. We'll pull your car inside of a bay in a building.
Okay.
And there won't be any press down there, so nobody's going to take pictures of anything. Nobody's going to think anything.
Right. I'm just trying to, I had a friend, I think, that lived in this, so I'm just trying to figure out where I need to turn here.
Well, I think you need to go past this building, and then you turn in here.
Okay. So if I get to the third one?
Yeah, just
right after the
pull in here between the two buildings. I'm not sure where the bay is they have for us, but if you'll pull in there, we'll have somebody come with an alternate light source, basically, and just kind of look around.
Okay, well, that's what I was going to say with that. Like, I had my dog in the car last weekend, so I did vacuum the car, didn't wipe it down or anything, but I did vacuum it.
No, that's totally fine. It's just,
yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to. We're going to do that, but we're all done here. So I'm going to terminate this interview at 7:13 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, so off.